Hello and welcome to the Get Real with Jesus podcast. I'm here with my friend Jude Wells today. He is with High Character Contracting. We're going to dive right in today. Just want to welcome you, Jude. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I have had a ton of fun getting to know you, a little bit more about your family. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about you, your family, faith, friends, family, and what your church life is all about.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd say that I'm a real estate investor. So it's like the primary thing that I do is invest in real estate. I've been doing that for about 8 years. Moved up to Northern Kentucky.
Okay.
After I was in the military for a little bit, and then moved up to Northern Kentucky for school. And then just kind of stuck around this area. Met my wife in college.
Okay.
So at orientation. Yeah, it was the first week of school, met my wife. We hit it off right away.
Decided this was a pretty good place to stay?
Decided that this is a pretty good place to stay, absolutely. Yeah, well, while at college, I just got a lot of different opportunities. Started working for the guy that I was leasing from, learned a lot about real estate, and
cool.
I just kind of put that path in front of me to do that.
That's really awesome. So, this is a faith-based podcast, obviously. So I always ask folks, you've given me your testimony before, told me a little bit about your background, but why don't you just tell us what's your statement about your journey with Christ and who you tell people Jesus Christ is to you?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I'll try to keep it short. So kind of the background, I grew up cradle Catholic. So my grandparents were Catholic, my mom was Catholic, we were raised Catholic, I went to a Catholic school. It actually wasn't even until, so in my school, being a Catholic school, we had, it was probably 98, 99% Catholic, that was there. There was like one Protestant guy,
The guy just had to be there,
Yeah, you need one. You need the token Protestant at the Catholic school.
That's funny.
But yeah, basically I thought that everybody was Catholic. Because
the whole world.
I thought the whole world was Catholic. Yeah. So it's like, for up until high school, I'd never even really questioned God or questioned like how we got to this, like how creation happened, or like any of these like deep, theological,
the big questions in life.
Yeah, the big questions. Yeah. It was. I just thought everybody believed in God. It's like how else were we here, kind of a deal. Then in high school, I realized that it wasn't 99% Catholic. Matter of fact, most people aren't Catholic.
A lot aren't.
Yeah. But just by the majority of it.
And I do have a lot of good Catholic friends. We don't want to be that. That's not the point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
we love Catholics. That's just the experience that Jude came from, right?
No slight at Catholics at all. But yeah, just growing up surrounded.
Yes,
sir. Thought that that's how everybody was.
Yeah, you develop that kind of bias.
Yeah. Yep. So
absolutely.
Yeah, did that. I always believed in the morals of Christianity. Like I believe like what it stood for and like what we're called to do and the ethics behind it. But there was a kind of a disconnect for me like around like college time of just like the actually like believing that God became a human, sent his son, died on the cross,
So you started internalizing some of this is what it sounds like.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and then it's like I like to say it's like I chose to believe, because I felt like the alternative to not believing, damnation. It's like I don't want that. So
that's not a good plan.
I'll just choose to believe, and it's interesting going from choosing to believe to believing to almost feeling like I know, this that God is real, and Jesus is real, and the Holy Spirit's real, and just like seeing just my life being a testimony. It's like knowing, the things that come from the Holy Spirit. That aren't from me. It's like I know me pretty well, and then
you see something really good, and I didn't do that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like anytime it's something generous, it's like no, I don't want to do that.
I can relate.
Keep it. Why is this thought here, or anything like that? So,
yeah,
I kind of went on a journey of choosing to believe to believing to feeling like I know that this is.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. That's super cool. So, what's your church family look like?
Yeah, so I'm going to a Vineyard Covington right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like probably 70-person church, maybe 70 to 100 people.
Cool.
I like it a lot. Yeah, it's it's a smaller church. I've gone to bigger churches before, like between like 500 and 1,000 people. And there's positives and negatives to both. you know.
would
But
agree.
I am liking just getting the experience of different kinds of churches, of just like seeing.
So here's one of the
congregation
favorite
size.
questions, Jude, that just blows people up in church.
Okay.
What's your favorite style of Christian music?
You know, I'm not sure of style per se. So it's
Who
like,
do you like to listen to?
have you heard Jervis Campbell?
I know who that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like I like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Like, I kind of like the like how would you put it? Like kind of the I don't know, hippie almost.
Yeah.
Like hippie Christian music.
Okay, okay.
Like the
That's funny that you say that because the Top Golf event that we were at, my
Yeah.
twins asked if you were a hippie.
that's funny. What did you tell them?
I said, absolutely not. Absolute. I'm just messing with you, Jude.
Yeah.
They did actually say that, though.
Yeah, I believe it.
And I think they meant that as a compliment.
Yeah, I'll take it that way.
So-
I'll take it that way.
That's really cool. So it's a vineyard. That's awesome. Hear lots and
Yeah.
lots of awesome, great things about that church. So, got a very specific question for you now, sir.
Okay. All right.
What are some spiritual disciplines that you feel help keep you grounded? You talked about this internalizing of your faith,
Yeah.
kind of in and around being, in college. Talked about how you came out of that. I know that you have a strong faith because you and I have talked, but tell me, what are some of the spiritual disciplines that you feel actually help keep you grounded? Maybe that'll be helpful for someone.
Yeah, I mean, personally, a lot of it is just being around other Christian people. So it's
yeah.
like I've really structured my life to where it's like I have Christian mentors and then I have Christians that I'm mentoring. So I'm always getting poured into by Christians. I'm always pouring out to Christians. And I found that to be a really good balance because like one, it's like someone's holding you accountable and then the other way you're holding yourself accountable. It's like whenever you lead
That's
other
awesome.
people, it's like you want to be that thing that you're preaching.
Yes,
you
sir.
know? And yeah, and then whenever you have somebody who's guiding you and mentoring you, you know and you know that they're going to follow up with you. You want to stay close to that.
Man, you know what I just got a flash of?
What?
You know I get crazy ideas from time to time.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this concept, biblical concept of having three different types of relationships, either being a Paul, a Barnabas, or a Timothy? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay, so just didn't come here to preach today, so I'll just tell you quickly. What that means is that we're all built to have those different relationships and be in those relationships with various people. To be a Paul, right? To be a mentor, to be a spiritual mentor, to be a Timothy, to be that person being poured into, right? And Barnabas, what's that mean? And son of encouragement, right? That's literally what his name means, is to be an encourager to others in the faith. So I like that. A pastor taught me that years ago. I like that. I try to look for that in my relationships with people, is that not only do I need to be at different points in time, that person, other people, I need to think about myself in that role. There's times when I need to be a
Right.
Timothy,
Yep.
right?
Yes,
And
definitely.
I need to shut up and listen to what someone can pour into me. That's been extremely helpful for me to think about with different relationships. So, what's maybe one or two ways that are surprising that you've seen God work in your family or in your friend groups? Is there anything that you just
Yeah.
find astonishing that God's done?
You know, kind of my whole life. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, quite frankly. I mean, it's just different. You know, every time in my life where it's like been like an intense kind of stress or a problem or something like that, maybe a year after it or 2 years after it, it's like I realize why everything happened. You know, and like
See
and how
some
it's made
fingerprints
me.
of God?
Yeah, a lot of fingerprints of God. You know, it's like
That's cool.
it's like you can pray for wisdom, and God will give you opportunities to grow in wisdom.
I've heard that can be dangerous.
It is. I did too much praying for wisdom, maybe.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, a lot of difficulties, but
Okay.
but it's like just seeing how God can turn negative things into beneficial things, and then
He
just seeing it in my own
absolutely
life,
can.
seeing it in like other people's lives.
Yeah.
And then just yeah.
That is really, really awesome. That's awesome. I love to hear you say that. So, one of the key things that I would love to know about, I'd
Yep.
love to invite you to tell me a little bit about how, because I know this to be the case, I've seen it. How is High Character Contracting, your company that you've built, developed with
Yeah.
God, how is that organization ministering both to the people who work for you and to the community?
No, it's a great question. Yeah, I'll take it one at a time. So, for the people that work for me, just a little background on High Character Contracting. Like I said, I do the investment stuff. I do the real estate investment. And there was just one guy that I really felt called to help and like mentor. And so as he started working with me, and it just started as a one-person thing, and then at that point in time, and still now, but it was just, God, what do you want from this? What do you want me to do? It was very stressful taking on an employee. That was the first employee I've had. Always been a solopreneur. So it's like I just did everything step by step.
It's a huge step
through the whole thing. Yeah, and it's it's like a big burden of stress. Whenever someone that you care about, you're employing.
It's responsibility there.
It is. And I just felt the Holy Spirit just prompting me to walk in that. So it's like then another person wanted an opportunity to work with me, and
now you have quite a few more than that.
And now I have quite a few. So yeah, it's like in a year and a half, we got up to about 20 guys.
I think it's fair to say God's blessed you.
Definitely.
And that's been an amazing thing to see a little part of that, right? Mm-hmm. I'm really, really glad to have a seat where I get to see that from a vantage point where I can see not only that growth with your company, but I really believe God works, and I'm not trying to be ridiculous about this, but I believe that God works through the people in your company.
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen them exhibit that. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, we really operate under a kind of a philosophy of, obviously we're a Bible-believing company, so it's like really where...
And that's unusual.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely can be.
That's amazing and unusual.
Yeah, and then also just a personal philosophy of like you attract what you become. We're very focused on becoming, responsible and people with integrity and responsibility and courage and leadership and humility, and just growing in all these kinds of ways to where it's like whenever the situations, good deeds have been already prepared for us. So it's just being prepared for the deeds that are prepared for us. So it's just like walking in purpose with God.
Yeah.
To be strong men, to where it's like whenever there's an opportunity where it's like you need a strong man, we're there. It's like we're already ready and prepared. And then just to walk out, our lives in courage and faith. A lot of times there's, for a large point of my life, I would consider myself a closet Christian. So it's like I'm a Christian, but like kind of just kept it to myself. I didn't want people to think that I wasn't intelligent, or I didn't want people to think that, I believed in this invisible person or whatever. I was more concerned about what people thought.
Maybe I don't know enough, right? Like I know I've thought that a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know enough.
Yeah. It was really just, I think that I was just trying to avoid, like judgment from people, which is kind of silly.
Now we're getting real.
Yeah. Hey, we're getting real with Jesus. That's that's the name of the podcast here.
It is, sir. It is, absolutely. That's really amazing. So before I forget to ask you this, if someone's listening out there, how could they get in touch with you if they need contracting services? Tell them a little bit about more specifically what you do, because someone may want to talk to you about that.
Yeah, no, that's true. So right now what we're doing, the way that our company works is we work with investors with like 10 or more projects. So we don't do like one-offs. Like if it's a homeowner that needs a gutter, that's not what we do.
You don't need that phone call.
We don't need that phone call. All respect, I don't want it.
Yeah, but
take it to somebody
who
else.
can benefit from potentially working with you?
So mostly investors. We like to do a lot of repeat work. We've just found that it really works with the growth of the company to partner with like people who are doing either flips, like they're turning over property consistently, or people who have a lot of different real estate, to where it's like we'll be fixing up the places in between tenants. So our primary focus is on repeat customers.
Okay, so if we've got a landlord out there in Campbell, Kenton, Boone County, that pretty well cover it?
Yeah.
In the Tri-County area, if we've got a landlord out there and they are looking to simplify their investment portfolio, they might get in touch with you to discuss your services. Does that sound right?
Yeah, no, that's definitely right. Yeah, we get it all the way turnkey. So it's like there's nothing that we can't do or contract out. So it's like we don't have we don't do the plumbing or licensing, or we don't do the plumbing or the electrician, but we do have licensed people that we sub out.
You got a guy.
We got a guy. Yeah, we can take it from any condition to however you want it to be.
Well, I know from having been a landlord in the past, that can be a very useful resource. So I just want to say, for what it's worth, that if you have that need here in Northern Kentucky, I can't possibly more strongly recommend talking to Jude, talking to the folks at High Character Contracting. They're amazing. They are people of integrity. I've witnessed that, and you would do very well partnering with them in any of your projects. So just kind of wrapping up, as we start thinking about landing the plane here,
Okay.
I want to ask you, you've told me a lot about high character contracting, both before today, and I learned some really cool things today. I'd like to know, how do you see high character contracting and your leading of that company as a ministry? Because you and I have talked about that a lot. I think that is a phenomenal approach. It's one of the reasons why I always enjoy talking to you, because there are some others, but not nearly enough others in our community that view for-profit businesses as ministries to their community. Tell me just a little bit about what really led you to want to establish your business and continue to pursue doing business that way. Why do you do that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So primarily it's God led. It's not like I had this big idea and made a plan and executed it. It was really just saying yes to the things that God had in front of me. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't really a super big plan on my behalf. It's someone else's plan that I'm just kind of executing. But then with it as well, why I have passion with it is I do believe in family structure. I believe that it's good to have a dad and a mom in the house, with the kids.
Absolutely.
I personally believe that the man should lead the family. I think that they should. I think that that's the most. As far as culture goes, I think that's maybe one of the most beneficial things we can do is just get whole family structures together, and I think that it starts with the man. I think it starts with
I agree with you.
husband.
Yes, solid biblical concept. That's what everybody knows, the tragedy with Charlie Kirk here recently. That's one of the biggest banners, if you will, that he was bringing before people. I think you're right. Matter of fact, I'm confident that you're right, that God wants men to lead and to specifically lead, yes, businesses, but even more importantly, their families.
Exactly. If we could have men that lead their families in biblical values, everything else it'll buff.
A lot of amazing things happen when that takes place. Absolutely. So what is it, a little bit of a twist on that question, what is it I know some of these great young men that work for you. What is it, we've talked about outside your company and what people from the community can do to interact with you. What is it that you're hoping to see develop in them? And maybe if you want, you can brag on them a little bit. Tell me about your guys.
My guys are amazing. So this is actually one of the reasons that I testify from God, is I didn't go out and recruit these guys. It was I got one person, his name's Luke, phenomenal young man. He's 21 years old. He has the maturity of a full-grown adult. He's Bible believing.
Awesome.
He's a great leader. He has great friends, great support system. He puts things in his life boundaries to where it's he can't get too far this way or too far this way.
That's super important.
It's super important, and it shows a real humility, because it's whenever we're thinking in the right mind, we never think that we're going to be thinking in the wrong mindset. But he still can understand that, hey, it's it happened. Good men fall all the time. So even if he's a good man, he's setting up those things. So it's he has just a real, humility and maturity about him. And then I thought that I was just so blessed, and I am so blessed to have him. And then it was another guy pretty similar to him comes up, and then another guy pretty similar. And it's just man, where are all these good guys coming from? I've it's just it's definitely a blessing that so many. I didn't know that there's this many young men that were this solid in this area. And it's really encouraging.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you've built structure to help build them up. And that's, I'm not just bragging on you. I'm also bragging on God. But you were open to that call. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, you did, because not everybody makes that choice, right? And I just want to tell you that it's impressive to see the depth of character and just biblical values that are instilled in these young men. Jude does crazy things, folks, just to let you know, encourage his employees to have a Bible study, have biblical discussions, and that's amazing. I really appreciate that you're a business owner in our community, and thank you for what you do.
Oh, thank you.
It's super, super cool. I really appreciate it. Before we completely wrap up, though, we just talked about how important family is.
Yeah.
Tell me whatever you're comfortable with just about your awesome family.
I have a phenomenal wife. My wife is amazing. I was super lucky to meet her as early as I did, freshman year of college. We started dating freshman year, and we're still together.
That's awesome.
And it's been about 10 years now. And yeah, it's like I truly understand what it means to become one. It's like I do feel like it is that way.
Big
it's like
statement.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. It's like whenever you find someone that you trust and that you commit to and it commits to you, how it's just an entirely different relationship than anything else. There's nothing that's really like that specific kind of relationship.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She's a phenomenal mom. I got a 13-month-old at home. And yeah,
praise God.
like,
I mean, that's awesome.
yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, she's great. She does a fantastic job of, taking care of our daughter and, being a good wife, and she's always supported me. It's like I've done, like you said earlier, I do some crazy stuff,
I can relate.
As far as business opportunities and, certain level of risk. And
yes, sir. I mean, we've
really,
shared with
really
each other, there's been certain levels of buffoonery on both our parts.
Yeah.
and it's fair to say that both of our wives have suffered us at fools from time to time.
From time to time. From time to time. From time to time, yeah.
That's good stuff, man. Well, I am really excited for you, Jude. Thank you for taking the time just to go on our podcast here and talk about getting real with Jesus.
Yeah.
I invite anyone who's listening to this today that may want to know more about Jude, about his business, to get in touch with him. So High Character Contracting, you can find them for sure on Facebook.
Yep.
Is that the preferred method?
Yeah, Facebook is a good way to find us.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not too many companies named High Character Contracting.
They're not, and
it's easy to find us.
It's a good name. I like it.
Yep.
If you have other questions just about getting real with Jesus, about faith, getting connected to your local church, I always encourage people to get in touch with us. You can get in touch with me, Jerry Wallace, directly at 513-302-5012. I'd be honored to tell you about local churches here in Northern Kentucky you can engage with. And also, if you'd be interested in telling the community about what getting real with Jesus looks like for you, I'd welcome you to come on the podcast and explain that and explore that with us. So we're going to wrap it up for today. I just want to thank my friend Jude.
Yeah,
I appreciate you taking the time, sir.
Yeah, this was
and we'll be back again next week. Thank you so much, folks.